Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. For those of you returning, we'll be starting off in just a couple of minutes, so catching up where we left off. We arrived in Ultima Thule and discovered that it is a very strange place made up of many dead worlds. We lost a member of our adventuring party, Thancred, who is unfortunately no longer with us anymore. And because of his sacrifice, this place now has a kind of breathable atmosphere. The stuff needed to live and survive. As we explored, we discovered shades, reflections of dragons long past, and now we are going to investigate to figure out how to move forward in this strange new world. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, and without further ado, let's get to the game. Hello. Now then, let's start asking some questions. Let's get to the bottom of what's going on around here. Okay. Alright, so that guy wants to be left alone. They want to die, I guess. To our home did come the metal demons, who of life enjoy scar to clean up. Interesting. These are rather small dragons. Metal monstrosities of black and silver. Okay. It's sounding more and more like Omega came and destroyed everything. Ere the metal came, my kin were many and splendid, elegant worms like unto ripples on the water. Worms possessed of limbs so powerful as to rend the land in twain. Worms I have long since forgotten, faces lost to the tides of time. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of regret and shame. They're all just wallowing in self-loathing. Drink not of this spring, tainted are its waters, and thy dainty form hath not the capacity to withstand it. Okay, so the waters are tainted. Explains why it looks all oil slicked and gross. I'm guessing machines that came here are to blame for that. No, this thing seems like it's alive. It's not like the others. Interesting. Okay, so they want me to go and look at something over here. This way. Source of the dragon's woes in Omnol. Let's try to skirt around these guys. Ah, it's a nesting ground. Looks like some of these eggs have hatched, and others just popped and are all gross and rotten. Oh man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That sucks. No, I'm standing in it. Oh, gross, I'm standing in it. Ah. Gonna have to clean my boots. Let's see. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground. Or was. I've seen similar on Atheris. Midgard Somer's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Vritra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Okay, so that was a failed birth. A murky liquid has pooled inside this eggshell. The noxious feeder is indicative of contamination. Okay, so something poisoned the eggs, maybe. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonet within succeeded in hatching. Dragonet was indeed hatched. There's no sign of it here, or its sire for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops, I'll search the plains. Alright. Let's see if we can find this hatchling. If something survived out here, that would be nice. Maybe it would give the dragons a reason to not wallow in self-loathing and pity anymore. Although, something to keep in mind, all those eggs were somewhat contaminated or had some kind of contamination, disease, or rot. So, I may not find a dragon at all, but some kind of mutated thing. Oh? Malformed. This sucks. right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one. Yeah, apparently it was a deformed mutant. That was your child. Oh boy. Perhaps some eggs within Umnol are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire, fury, rage, and rancor, we gave answer. It was a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. They were abandoned to our ruin. Oh, that sucks. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild. Futile effort. In purest soil, replete with ether, did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. But few survived to hatch, emerge as abominations. Oh, man. There are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. It's the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from the strife and suffering, still as stone. You claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. Guess they don't want to hear it. Seems like they're done talking to us. I want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. Now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Yeah. So, the whole Dragon Song War still kind of weighs on him pretty heavily. Understandable. Alright. I wonder what everyone else learned while I was off dealing with that. Orange. Chance to gain an audience with several dragons ere we returned, though I expect their tales are much the same as those you heard. Good to see you made it back in one piece. The more I see of this place, the more bewildering it becomes. We would hear what the dragons had to share with you, even if it's no different from what they told Urianger, it would have value. Luck, they'll have learned something to help us devise a plan of action. Hopefully. I don't know about meaningful, but we learned a bit about what happened here. Started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Would there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? No. Considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a powerful potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond its boundaries, it vanished. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Loporrits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island. It's smart. But Midian told us before that emotions dictate reality here might be the key. I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, yeah. If it's indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Midians, but the dragons that hold us here. Tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. Sound theory, disheartening though maybe. Yeah, God, that sucks. If that's the case, what recourse do we have? They're not likely to be persuaded to help us. The reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Have persuasion is not the answer. Midian meant to unmake us then and there on Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner by overpowering the prevailing emotions. Good theory. It was Ultima Thule's architect, Midian herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most. Okay, so I go talk to the most depressed dragon. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. And I shall guide thee. Allend, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Alright. I don't know how well I can convince him. Maybe Estinian can talk to him. He knows dragons better than anyone else here. There they are. I'll end. Alright. Time to cheer up, buddy.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this. So, waiting to die like all the others, are you? So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Oh yeah, it's like they found another place, but you guys were killing each other. That's one of the things we were trying to avoid. That's why we're gonna stay here.
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind. Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Oh, that was Medion.
Estinian!
Wait, what are they doing
Stay
to him?
back. the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
Wait, what do you mean?
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind.
He did it.
He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
You did good, Estinian. The music is a little clearer. It's not as warped and distorted. There's actually a melody in there. And by the beating of mighty wings doth wind blow, where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky, he and the shade he bore shall soar free. Interesting. Alright, Estinian, send us to the next part of the path. Powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions should arrive before long. That's where we came from. The dragons remained trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war, yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. He's still fighting Alphino, just like Thancred. True. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alzay is right. We must press on for their sake. All right. Still in, Alzay said, we must continue. Notice a change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this land. Or, not in this land, this sand. Okay. Damn. Pretty cool how that all just hangs here in the open space. All of those different broken worlds in the sky really is interesting. Then there's this one above us, just absolutely massive. All the different broken bits and pieces just hanging here. If you were worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. Okay, that's good. Another seemingly barren world. For mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. Okay. If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. True. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. Okay. Supposes that over where? Oh, that structure back there? Oh yeah. I was looking at that thing. Whatever the hell that is. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Good plan. Let's go see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into this time. Hopefully we don't end up with anyone dropping dead. That'd be pretty unfortunate. Hollow of the Flesh. Ugh. Uh-oh. Okay, ghostly figure. What are you all about? Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me. I've forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting with those with whom one is unacquainted. Duh. The fuck? And the vibration of vocal cords was still required to convey our thoughts and intention. Ea, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature, to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kof whatever. Kof Code of the Ea. I've encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. She looks disturbed. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether or dynamis, as the space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then, but as well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ea are ether-based life forms, therefore it may be surmised that our bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. What the fuck? It's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies, I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. Huh? The reason you need to gain corporeal forms again is? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Huh? They want to die? Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric extinguishers, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. Huh? Okay, let's talk it out. I'd very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Okay. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. God, they are so weird. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the abode of the Ea, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions indicative, blah, blah, cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ea wandering in the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. It's weird. Really weird. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why any civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Yeah. That is rather interesting. If you have obtained immortal bodies, why would you want to die? Doesn't make any sense to me. Luminion. God, that thing is fucking weird. That thing is weird. Almost look like those things were covered in bandages, which kind of reminds me of a mob and race of people from World of Warcraft, but no, they were just like weird discs of light, weirdly in the shape of a person. More violet-colored crystals. I can't place my finger on it. There's something unsettling about them. Should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet... yeah, it's really weird. The Isle of Dragons was shrouded in the silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest the Ea are, by and large, merely sleeping? Yeah, could be. I said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. So it tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. There's an Aetheryte Plaza up here. I'll go ahead and grab that before talking to this other guy. That way, in case anything happens, I don't have to make a huge, long run all the way back. There we are. Now, let's go talk to this Ea person. Figure out what they're all about and why they want to end their existence. Which it still boggles my mind. Why would you want to end your existence if you were immortal and all that? Like, that's awesome. That's great. Why would you want that to end? Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline structures hanging from the stone there. Okay. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? Astute question, and understandable, given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured, they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts toward one of the crystalline domiciles to communicate. Alright. Let's go talk to some of these people. I guess. Let's see, this one here. Start off. Cast your thoughts toward the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. Interesting. Knock knock, motherfucker. Wake up. Let's talk. You wish to speak. Very well. Pray a moment, if you would. Okay, good. Somebody is awake enough to talk then. Hello, anybody home? Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? That's kind of a weird thing to say. Oh, weird little spider things in the distance. That's nice. Hey, wakey wakey eggs bakey, let's talk. Strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Okay. Weird. It's a weird kind of pool, but I kind of like it. It's interesting. I have no idea if that water is even safe to swim in. For all I know, it could be contaminated by radioactive waste or flesh-eating algae or something, and I just jump right in. Alright, I woke everyone up. Your inquiries yield satisfactory responses. A couple of people didn't want to wake up. I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Ooh. Or not. There are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience. I imagine they will be with us ere long. Okay. Weird. But okay. Had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ayas have awakened. Good. Ah, there they are. Introduce you to... Okay, that went by really quick. That was weird. It's been too long, I dare say. Saturn has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. Truth of the matter is as plain to see. Let me actually do that. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? No. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkug, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Okay, I keep doing that. Ah yes. So long has it been, I had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now. The archives have long since been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you can recall that much. Ah, of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh, such as they, must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repasts, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, I see no reason to decline. Cool deal. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. Okay. So they're just gonna force feed us pure ether, then. That's weird. God, these guys are weird. Engaging in scholastic debate with a being of similar intellect is a most delightful experience. At the moment, I am discussing with an acquaintance the ideal way with which one might end one's own... Oh, that's dark. That is dark. Should I put a content warning on this? I don't know. It is as I expect, this so-called feast. Actually, let's just see it for ourselves. Fear not. We are not like to come to harm. Okay? They are thus able to replenish their ether. The loss of vital sustenance isn't like to be the cause of their demise. Yeah? Ether, they said, but I can't help feel a bit nervous. Yeah, kidding. Judging by the construction of this facility, to seem the Ea directly draw upon the ether. Yeah. Weird. We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me as less a meal and more of a ritual. Yeah. Seems like it. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists refer... Restaurant? Restaurant, okay. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. Okay. It's a bit weird, but let's give it a shot. Why not? Might catch on and be a thing. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. Alright. Brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Ea's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of their recreated Amara. However, appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. Okay. So what are you going to do, Ishtola? So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Stick things in our mouth, chew it, swallow, digest. For your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. It's weird. Though we regrettably could not partake in your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder. Wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ea yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we could eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as land, to the intangible, such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. but we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. Interesting. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe that we could be free from uncertainty and anxiety. Interesting. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. Yeah? Listen, primitives as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. And those who have gone before, it is not our duty to warn them. A little bit of a debate. We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we have discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Legia. Okay. Interesting. Truth of the universe, huh? Like her master, Ishtola seeketh the truth of creation. How the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears. I don't know. To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea, nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste, would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggled to reconcile it with the limitless things before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. You may be intimately familiar with a problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ea never felt the same frustration? It's true, a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Heidelin told us, all those peoples who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure, and the Ea are among them, as their presence here attests. The tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. I can only imagine. Alright, Stola, you got that look on your face. Fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to its indolent end. Knowledge leads. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Elijah, Graha, but I trouble for your assistance, okay? My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting at Rianche, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elagia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. What are they up to? I'm sorry, but did you speak to me? You see, I haven't spoken to anyone in such a very, very long time. Anyhow, what is it you need? Not that I imagine there's much I can do for you. Nah, I don't need to talk to you. Let's go find Urianger. Figure out what the heck his plan is. So while Ishtola wants to understand knowledge and the such, I think Urianger might have something else in mind. That was weird. That person just spawned out of nowhere. The Wellspring of Regret. Interesting. A spring, and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amongst the dunes. What's up, Urianger? Aye, this place shall serve well. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. Okay. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Creation magic, most likely. Medion made contact with them while they still lived. Of course. She must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and, upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Medion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, then that would imprint on her. She would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. It's my suspicion that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons and Ea unto their doom. So she killed them. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Her own. Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. Okay, but what are you planning? As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in my chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. Say my debt is come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? Oh no. For all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. Without further ado, then, let us go join our comrades. Urianger, you idiot. You're planning on killing yourself. God. Why? Stupid asshole. Let us be off to Elagia. Damn it, Urianger. That's stupid. Incredibly, absolutely stupid. Fine, whatever. Seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then? Yeah, let's do it.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand, Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
Okay, so heat death of the universe.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir.
That's it?
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators.
Interesting.
Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Hell yeah, Ishtola.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
These two planned
The
for
most
this.
important lesson I've learned. is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught. But I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge. And no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
Well said.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
Oh?
Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back.
That's true.
But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
What am I supposed to do then? Hey, Oriange, what are you doing?
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality.
Well done.
Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Oh. Now they're gone too.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
That
Is
giant
Another star.
way
Of
overhead.
the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friend's emotions fade away, along with their protection.
So in that dead sun, Medion pretty much hoarded all of the souls of those who passed, keeping them from rejoining the life stream. You had a smirk on your face. What was that all about? Victory, something lost? Are you all ready to continue on? Yeah, let's do it. Let us make for where that light shone. Stola and Urianger have opened the way for us. Alright. Let's move on. What is that thing? An Arch Ada. Cool. I think I'm going to avoid that thing. I don't know how strong it is, so it may not be in my best interest to tangle with it. Okay, so there's a pylon here. The tube. This is what Urianger and Y'shtola made for us. Either made it or altered it so that we can use it. Some manner of AI device. Our friends awakened it, and it should be safe to use. Judging by the direction, this should be the place. Alright, let's do it. This is a portal, and make no mistake, let's see where it leads. Portal of Wisdom. See where we go from here. This is Omega's world. It has to be. Looks like I got a fight here. like I gotta fight. Alright guys, should be safe for you to come up. Hello? Took you long enough. Yet another civilization. Looks an awful lot like Omega. Attacked as soon as you arrived. The most welcoming of places. You must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land to see how far we can go. Help Alphino with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we've finished exploring. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Interesting place. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the Isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let us avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. Yeah, okay. See naught but patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse. Yeah. Oh, shit. I want that ether current. Alright. Come here. Okay. Yay, they're current. Before I talk to Graha, I'm gonna grab that Aetheryte. Cool deal. Alright. Charging required. Please leave this unit alone. Okay. Additional entity detected. Alright. The machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, we are searching for the denizens of this star. Known life forms detected. Assigning generic label, interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet's blip bloop, okay. It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name of our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. Omicrons. What is it you do here? We are preparing for war. Okay, why? As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. A little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I'll see what else I can learn from this fellow, if you could try speaking with the others. Yeah, let's see what these guys are all about. Measuring combat capability, result negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the home world of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. Interesting. Autonomous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munition levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Waiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. Interesting. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's command and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions for our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. Okay, interesting. Oh, I gotta reach level 90. Okay. Well. Let's head back and do some quests and try to move forward a little bit. Just a little bit. I could also hop in some dungeons. You know what? Actually, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna head back there and I'm gonna run some dungeons. And maybe, hopefully, level up enough to continue on with the story. Oh my. Looks like everything needs tanks. That's great. That's wonderful, ain't it? Apparently nobody wants to be a tank. That's fine. Oh, no. Looks like DPS opened up. Let's jump in and get that bonus XP. In the meantime, I might just... No? The gear doesn't need to be repaired. Interesting. Got any gear that's interesting? I mean, my gear is already more or less the best I can get for now. Do you have accessories, actually? Yeah, no accessories worth getting. Alright. That's fine. It's fine. Let's run through some trials and all and try to level up a little bit. Oh no. Ah. Oh, that was my bad. It has been way too long since I've done this fight. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, it's been way too long since I've done this fight. I have no idea what I'm doing. What? Immediate white. What happened? I don't understand what the heck happened. Whatever. We'll do it again. Okay, doing a little bit better this time, hopefully. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. That did it. Oh, it's been too long since I've done any of these fiend fights. Yeah, let's just join another one. Hopefully it won't take too long to get in. Could be a pain in the ass if it was going to be an issue. I was expecting to hit 90 by now, but guess not. Or at least hit 90 shortly before getting to this point. I guess the quest just didn't give enough XP. That and maybe the lack of actual dungeons in the area. Maybe that's what kind of is holding me back a little bit as well. I don't know. Yeah, I absolutely expected there to be like more dungeons or something. Hmm. So I think tonight this may be the last one I'm able to do with the time I have. As unfortunate as it is. This one again? Why? 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 Ah, here we go. Why did I get this twice in a row? What the hell? Is it just me, or did the last group seem to hit this guy a little harder? Goodbye, Onyx. Boom. There we go. Nice and quick. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a commendation. Hey, there we go. And I got a commendation too. How nice. Well, I suppose that's where I'm gonna have to leave it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have hit the 2-hour mark. That's going to be it for the stream tonight. I thank you for joining me if you did. I hope you join me next time around. We'll see you again soon. Have a good one.